Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the Final Bell podcast episode number 2. Hope you're doing well and keeping safe out there in the world at this current time. And as you know, we talk about all things sports related here. So today I want to focus on the Royal Rumble, February the 1st, 2025 at the Lucas Oil Centre, Indianapolis. And this was the first P.L.E WWE aired on Netflix since they transitioned from TNT Sport, formerly BT Sport, over to Netflix on their multi-billion pound deal. So you would expect this to be one of the top pay-per-views or public live events as they now call them. But unfortunately, I don't think it lived up to the expectations. And it's quite sad really, because WWE used to have really good pay-per-views with quite a lot of matches on them. Now it seems like they've charged stupid amounts, extortionate amounts of money for tickets, and people are paying more and getting less. This Royal Rumble this year had 4 matches. That's all they had, and they had to spread those matches over a 4-hour period. Now, the Women's Royal Rumble match that actually started the event lasted 1 hour and 10 minutes. Charlotte Flair returned, coming in at number 27. She came back from injury as a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble, which really wasn't a surprise because we knew 2 weeks ago that she was coming back. So how they call that a surprise, I have no idea. But she came in, won the whole thing, and she now gets to book her place at WrestleMania and face a champion of her choosing in the main event. Now, did we really need this? In my opinion, no. There are plenty of other people to choose from, female talent in that WWE Royal Rumble, that could have been in that position to main event WrestleMania, and they could have put on some good matches with some of these. You got some of the people that have just come from NXT. You've got some people that have been there a long time in WWE that are more deserving of a championship, in my opinion. Not taking nothing away from Charlotte Flair, but she's been there. She's been to the top of the mountain several times. She's done it all, and she's got nothing left to prove. But this goes to show that WWE are going back to their age-old ways of bringing back what they call top-level talent, which indeed Charlotte is, and elevating her, overshadowing everybody else into a Royal Rumble win the first night of her return, and then going into the main event of WrestleMania to possibly become the champion again. So, in my opinion, WWE made a mistake there. They didn't need to go with Charlotte Flair. They could have done another angle where she worked her way back, but bringing her back as an entrant in the WWE Royal Rumble would have been a part of that. Then the storyline could have progressed from there, building her back up to getting a championship spot at WrestleMania or another pay-per-view or P.L.E further down the line, something like that. So, yeah, overshadowing everybody else by projecting the top-level superstar is not going to do good for morale in WWE, considering there's a lot more, as I said, people there that were deserving of that spot. Not necessarily Liv Morgan, she can work her way back, she's been there and done it. The same with Naomi. I've nothing to say about Naomi. I never liked her, never rated her, and I've got nothing to say about her. I just don't think she's any good at all. Bianca Belair's been there and done it, she can work her way up again. Bayley's been there and done it, she can work her way back up again. But to do that with the top level superstar, I'm sorry WWE, I'm just not impressed. Moving on, the second match was DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, current WWE Tag Team Champions, taking on Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin in a 2 out of 3 falls match, in which DIY actually retained and stayed WWE Tag Team Champions, so it'd be interesting to see what angle WWE take with them from here on. After that was Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens in a ladder match for the WWE Universal Championship and the Winged Eagle belt, and Cody Rhodes walked out still WWE Universal Champion. Then we get to the main event of the men's Royal Rumble. This is the 4th match and the only other match of the night, apart from the other 3. And WWE could have actually put in my opinion, another 2 matches. Whether they were actually short, they could have got those in there. Cut a little bit of time down, another couple of matches, and give the fans exactly something that they paid for. I think, as I said, the extortionate tickets and then the short amount of matches, they could have put another 2 in. I mean, Rhea Ripley didn't defend her title that night. Gunther didn't defend his title that night. And there were other matches that could have been made that could have been a filler to span it out over time. So, for the extortionate amount of money they wanted for the tickets and the short amount of matches, I'm not impressed. So the men's Royal Rumble, coming to the end, we had Logan Paul, and coming in at number 30, the very last entrant into the Royal Rumble. Everybody else was down, which you'll see in the video when I show it in a moment. It's only a short little clip. Everybody else was down. Now, Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre were going at it in the corner. Drew eventually dropped down against the turnbuckles. The transition took place where Jey Uso went over for his spot with Logan Paul. Logan Paul gave a kick to the gut and did a suplex. Jey stayed down. Then there was a transition to LA Knight. LA Knight stood behind Logan Paul as he was showboating and he threw his headband into the crowd. LA Knight just stood there behind Logan Paul, just staring a hole through him, walking up and down, doing absolutely nothing and just looking at him as he was pacing. So that part of that made no sense at all in the Royal Rumble. Then we came to Drew McIntyre, who just got back up for his spot with Jey and Damien Priest. And that was where Drew apparently was meant to get eliminated. Now, when Drew got up, he was meant to pick up Jey, which he did. They had a bit of communication, which you can see. And then Damien Priest rose up. Damien then went on to the left of Drew McIntyre, while Jey Uso was out on the right. Now, as they were doing their spot and they came across the ring from right to left, LA Knight is with Logan Paul. Now, it looks like LA Knight is about to do an Irish whip. And he suddenly must have realised, because you can see it, that they're coming across. It took me a while to see this because I didn't see it the first time. It was quite fast on the live pay-per-view. But you can clearly see that LA Knight pulled Logan, but then he found out he obviously couldn't do the Irish whip. So Drew McIntyre, Damien Priest and Jey Uso were coming across right to left. So LA Knight changed up on the spot, but because he was already going for what looked like the Irish whip, his momentum was taking him backwards. So he tried to pull himself forward and raise the arm like this, as if he was going to punch Logan, but Damien's arm ended up hitting the back of LA Knight. LA Knight got pushed forward. Damien got pushed off course along with Drew and Jey. Jey dropped, and then Damien pushed with the elevation Drew McIntyre over the top, eliminating him. And Drew wasn't happy, and that was what transpired with Drew leaving that I explained at the beginning. Okay, so as far as I can see, I'm going to put that down to mistiming and miscommunication and call it accidental. From what I see, LA Knight pulled away from the fact that he was going to do what looked like, to me, in my opinion, the Irish whip, but his momentum took him slightly back. He tried to pull himself forward to raise the arm to do the punch to Logan. Damien Priest, as he was carried across by Drew McIntyre and Jey Uso, caught the back of LA Knight, who couldn't get himself pulled forward too quickly. It knocked Drew, Damien and Jey off balance, but they still got the elimination. Now, whether that was the planned spot or how it was meant to go, I really have no idea. I don't see why Drew McIntyre had such a big issue, went backstage, made such a big, thing about it, and pointed the finger at LA Knight and Damien Priest, and then got in the car and went home. But I think now WWE can run with this, take a legitimate issue and turn it into a storyline involving Drew McIntyre possibly turning heel and attacking Damien Priest backstage and LA Knight possibly, or targeting one at a time, leading to a rivalry between all three. Then the rivalry could expand because Drew McIntyre is after Damien Priest. Damien Priest doesn't appreciate LA Knight getting involved. That causes an issue between them two. Then you have Damien Priest and LA Knight, and you got Drew McIntyre in the middle. So there's many ways that WWE can do this. Like they took the real life issue of Matt Hardy and Edge, now Cope in AEW, and they turned that into a real life storyline and had matches over a period of months with those two. So you can take real life issues and push them into a storyline, providing you don't go too far, cross the line and become too personal with it, because then it becomes something that a lot of people don't want to see. It was like the time when I can't remember if it was mentioned on WWE or WCW, but when Ric Flair's son Reed died, somebody spoke about his son being dead and brought that up in a storyline and stuff. And also, I think somebody else used it against Charlotte at one point as well, a few years back. And they used that in the storyline, which I think was a bit below the belt. I didn't like the fact that they were bringing, real life deceased, family of wrestlers into a storyline. But at that time, they felt they could run with it and they could do it. Then we hit the PG period, and now we're back to the Netflix period. It looks like we're coming out of the PG era, gradually more and more now each time. And we're not into the PG moment anymore. So anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, help support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourself out there in the world, and bye for now.